Hello, internet friends. You know, it never ceases to amaze me that 77 million Americans voted for a 4 times indicted, twice impeached, found guilty on 34 felony charges fraudster. That will probably amaze me for the rest of my days. That 77 million Americans decided that that guy who has filed bankruptcy at least 6 times could win the presidency. That guy who lies like no one has ever lied before. And the fact that he gets fact checked on a regular basis and it doesn't seem to matter. It doesn't seem to matter to these people what this guy does, who he hurts, the millions upon millions upon millions of dollars he is grifting from his supporters every single day. How he'll stay up all night going on his Truth Social screeds, making shit up. And yet people just still think he is better than chocolate milk, better than sliced bread. I'll never understand it. I'll never get it. A guy who said no new wars, no more forever wars, and what has he done? In a little over a year, in his second term in office, he has attacked Venezuela. He has started a war with Iran, a war that didn't need to start. And that he is every single day saying, oh, the war is over. And then the next 3 days later, oh, no, it's not over. And he's manipulating the stock market. The grift continues. The insider trading is, he's committing these acts of corruption out in the daylight, right in everybody's face. And yet it's okay. Jimmy Carter sold his peanut farm when he won the presidency. That's how much he believed in the job that he was hired to do. And yet we've got Trump, who everybody, especially evangelicals, white Christian nationalists, who think he was sent by God. Maybe he was, but not in the way that they think. It just boggles the mind that these people are just so content with all of this. And the reason why they're so content with all of this is because, one, they're just as racist as he is. And two, they're just as uninformed, more uninformed. And they are perfectly content to sit down and consume right-wing media, the news outlets that will lie right to their faces. Trump even made the comment a while ago, "I love the undereducated." Which leads me to this little gem. Have you noticed how far right wingnuts, well, mostly Republicans in power, keep attacking education? Now, there is a reason why they do this. Because education is power. Knowledge is power. People who use their heads, think things through, and read not just their favorite genre of books, but read things like, oh, I don't know, the Constitution, history. They're the people that do not get duped as badly as right-wing conservatives. And therein is probably why they're conservative. What they're conservative in or about is education. Because they don't want people to be educated. Smart people are not their friend. Smart people will think things through, and that's where critical thinking comes in. You know, somebody hears something that somebody else said, and that person is like, that doesn't sound right to me. So what do? They look it up. They go find out. That's the other thing we really need to do is we need to be skeptical of the elected officials. We need to be skeptical of the ones, even more so skeptical of the ones that are running for office. Skepticism is good. Skepticism is one of those things that makes people curious. And when you're curious, you go and you find out about the thing that you're skeptical about. Okay? It's not just being skeptical of, the afterlife and ghosts and things of that nature. No. Skepticism, you can be skeptical about people that are running for elected office. And when you're skeptical of those people, then you look up their records, you find things about their histories, and you learn about them. And there's nothing wrong with that. Republicans, especially elected Republicans, they're not good people. And the reason why they're attacking education is because people that are not educated are not going to research. They're not going to do their homework. They're not going to learn anything about the things that they're saying, and they're not going to figure things out because they don't care to figure things out. But we have a thing called the internet, and people have access to the internet every single day on their cell phones. You can look things up in a matter of seconds and learn about something. And if that particular thing that you looked up doesn't sound right, then you Find some other outlet. You know, and I said this before, and I'll say it again, and I'll probably continue to say it. Had Kamala Harris won, we wouldn't be attacking Iran. We wouldn't have attacked Venezuela. There wouldn't be this corruption that is happening in broad daylight. If Merrick Garland would have moved faster than a snail at the end of Trump's first term, if he would have appointed a special counsel right away and allowed these charges to go forward faster, because whether you want to admit it or not, Trump's a crook, okay? He's a crook on multiple different levels. He's a grifter, he's a scammer, he's a schemer, he's a fraud. He is perfectly content to commit violence towards women. He has been mentioned in the Epstein files multiple times. There was a girl that said that he sexually and physically abused her, which is found to be credible. But no. If you're a Republican, that's your guy. Why? I mean, here you are, you Republicans all saying that you're pro-life. Okay? Well, if you're pro-life, you're not going to vote for a guy like the one that's in office now. Okay? So why didn't you just be honest about it? You're not pro-life, you're pro-birth. Because as soon as that kid breathes outside air when it's born, you don't care anymore. You don't care about the child's welfare. You don't care if that child gets to eat. You don't care if that child gets an education. You don't care if the mother is able to take care of that child. You're not pro-life. You're pro-birth. Because if you were pro-life, you would care that women are getting sepsis because of miscarriages. And you would make sure that they could get the care that they need. So, rattle that around in your brain for a few minutes or longer. You know, here's the other thing. I had a child 21 years ago. 22 years ago, before the child that I have right now was born, 22 years ago, I had a miscarriage. And I just think about how things could have been if I would have had that miscarriage now. You know, here's the other thing that most people don't think about, don't realize, don't care about, whatever. 20% of all pregnancies end in miscarriage. That's just a fact of life. But seriously, if you were pro-life, you'd care about all life. Not just the cells that are settling into the womb. You'd care about the woman that is carrying that life. You would care if that woman found out that that child was going to have severe birth defects and live a very short life after birth. You would care about that, but you don't. All of this, everything we're dealing with right now is it just boggles the mind. But anyway, that's my rant. It's my take and my opinion. And that's the other thing y'all gotta know. This is an opinion channel. It's not a news channel. So, with that, I'm going to end this video. And my internet friends, y'all take care of yourselves wherever you are.